Hey everybody, this is just a really quick video about how to use the ND filters that we have in the department. So what are ND filters? Well, they're a little bit like sunglasses for your camera, and whenever things are a little bit kind of too bright or you're in an environment that's perhaps overexposed, we can pop an ND filter on the front of our lens, and it just gives us more control over things like ISO, aperture, and we can access those kind of thinner depths of field because we've got an ND filter on. We don't have to have a really big aperture. So one thing we need to be mindful of when we're choosing an ND filter is something called thread size, which is basically a measurement of the diameter of the front of your lens. And what we want when we're choosing an ND filter for our lens is for the thread size to match. So for example, if we wanted to put an ND filter on the front of our FX30 here, the thread size for the front of the Sigma lens is 55mm, and so we want to choose an ND filter that has the same thread size, which is 55mm, if you can see there. So the first kind of filter that we have in the department is something called a UV filter, or you might also find it's called a polarizing filter in other places. But basically what this does is it reduces reflections. So for example, if you're filming near a lake or a body of water, and you've got those kind of like reflections or glares that you don't really want in your image, if you just pop this on the front of your lens, then this can help a great deal. So the next kind of filter that we have in the department is our black diffusion filter, and this doesn't actually reduce exposure per se, but what it does is it gives your image a little bit of character, and it just has a certain look to it. So if you put this on the front of your camera, it will soften the sharpness a little bit. It will bloom your highlights, so the brightest parts of your image, it'll have a little kind of glow around it, if that makes sense. And it'll also smooth skin texture as well. And it's just a choice that you can kind of make during your shoot. If you want your images to look like that, then you can use this filter, and it just gives your footage a little bit of character. So the last kind of filter that we have is our variable ND filter, and this is exactly what it says on the tin. It's an ND filter where you can adjust the amount of diffusion you have, and it goes from ND2, so about half of the original exposure that's hitting the camera, all the way to ND400, so 1/400th of the original exposure, which is quite a lot of reduction. And these can be really useful when you're in those really, really bright environments, or you're in an environment that has changing exposure, and you need to really quickly kind of adjust how much diffusion you're getting. So to get an ND filter onto the front of your camera, all you have to do is just make sure there's nothing on the front of the lens, and then all you have to do is just screw it in like this and turn it clockwise until you feel it's flush. Just give it a quick wobble test, and it's on the front of your camera. And then to take it off, you just do the reverse. Just turn it anti-clockwise until you feel it come off like that. And just make sure you put it back in the case or the packaging, just so the ND filter is kept safe. That's about it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.